So in Space Marine, humanity is kind of at the brink of extinction, and the only thing that stands between them and being wiped off from the universe is essentially the Space Marine. And so you play Captain Titus of the Ultramarines. You're a Space Marine that gets sent with your company to liberate a forge world that's been invaded by this massive orc army. The orc army is led by a war boss who's intent on either destroying or taking Warlord class Titan, which is this mammoth war machine, extraordinarily powerful. If he manages to get his hands on it, it's very bad news for the Imperium. So initially your mission is to kind of land on the planet, take stock of what's going on, retake sort of key strategic locations, and make sure that the war boss is not successful. So the heart of Space Marine is this seamless blend of this deeply satisfying shooting that's competitive with anything else in the third-person shooter market, and the melee component. The melee is also extremely satisfying. It's very responsive. It's a seamless blend, as I said, so the player can switch instantly between those two weapon types, and it's that hybrid, that seamless sort of unification of those elements that makes Space Marine really shine. When you're in the heart of combat, there's this amazing sense of sort of forward momentum. You have this powerful figure who walks onto the battlefield and is constantly pushing against the enemies, and you're just basically smashing through everything that stands in your way. When you layer on top of that sort of the progression that we have in all our weapons and many of our Space Marine abilities, things like Bull Rush, being able to run and smash through pieces of the environment, that's really what the heart of Space Marine is all about. The decision to take the world of Warhammer 40,000 into the action, like blockbuster action aesthetic, was really driven by the passion we have at Relic for always constantly pushing ourselves to do new cool stuff. We've been working for 7 or 8 years with Games Workshop on the Dawn of War franchise. We consider ourselves to be some of the experts in the world on interpreting their IP for video games. And it was all about trying to find a new way to express that IP and explore a new genre for us that we're passionate about, which is third-person action. So really, it felt like the two worlds were such a good fit for each other. I think that it's anybody who knows anything about 40K or cares about Space Marines is going to feel like this game has been a long time coming. We feel definitely excited to be able to deliver that core fantasy to players of being that 7-foot-tall superhuman warrior encased in armor, walking on the battlefield like a god, basically, and just dominating. Whether you're a 40K fan or not, if you like action and blockbuster and science fiction, you're going to find something in Space Marine to love. I mean, we're really delivering the core fantasy of the Space Marine. We feel like we have the original Space Marine. This is an IP that's almost 25 years old now. It's inspired a lot of other Space Marines, a lot of our competition even. We feel like this is our opportunity to kind of take back that name. Because we love the IP and we know it so well, I think we have found the right balance between kind of remaining faithful to the IP, putting all the elements that matter to the fans, but also not making it a barrier to entry, so it'll be very accessible to anyone who likes science fiction. We do not have an announced release date at this time. Platforms we have announced, we're bringing Space Marine to the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.